What's up, people? This is going to be a really short update, but first and foremost, let me apologize in advance. I have the GPS on. She's going to be interrupting us while we talk. So, those of you thinking about purchasing a 2022 Jeep Wagoneer, I have an update on ours. We just hit 1,000 miles today, and there's some good, there's some bad. Some of the things that I like, some of the things that I don't like, I'm going to talk about real fast, just to give you an idea if you're in the market for one of these. Number one, a lot of people have been asking me this question: how's the gas mileage? We opted for the 5.7 Hemi. It did not help us very much from the 6.4. I stayed away from the 6.4 because of the lifter issue with the 6.4. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Jeep SRT 6.4 liter lifter failure. You Google that, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a known history with that motor. I'm not messing with that motor. With the 5.7, we're getting about 15 miles per gallon in the city. It's about $100 to fill up per week. It may be less where you're at, maybe more than where you're at. In our area, the gas is about, for premium, is around $4.70, $4.75. And you have to note that you can only use 91 octane or above with this particular vehicle. So gas gets to be kind of expensive. So make sure you're aware of that going into this. Those of you with the Trackhawk, those of you that follow me because of the Trackhawk platform, you already know what I'm talking about. So 91 octane or above, we're averaging 15-ish miles per gallon, as you can see, and you have to fill it up with 91 octane or above, okay? The number one thing that's annoying me with this vehicle is this particular button right here. This button on the Uconnect seems to work sometimes, not at all, or flawlessly. It just decides when it wants to work or not. As you can see from this demonstration, I had to press it multiple times to get it to work. This turns on your cool seats, like to cool your seat down. And sometimes I press it and it works all right. Sometimes I press it multiple. Let me see if I press it now. It came right on. All right, so I don't understand what type of button they used, or I don't know who was responsible for the R&D on this particular Uconnect with that button, but they didn't do a very good job. That button sucks, and if you Google Wagoneer Uconnect issues, that's one of the main complaints that I came across, that particular freaking button not working. Or like I described or demonstrated, it'll work a little bit, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, or it's flawless. It just has a mind of its own. Not a deal breaker for me. It's just something I want to point out because I'm not here to just talk about all the good. I want you guys and girls to know all the little irritating things with this vehicle. Speaking of irritating things, those of you that live in an area that have intersection street lights with, what do you call it, cameras, like a camera light, you know, okay, this car, this navigation will alert you every single time you're going to approach one. And it's an annoying chime that I need to figure out how to disable. I haven't done it yet. I hope I can disable it because it is an annoying chime, especially when I'm in a certain area here in the Philadelphia area where there's a camera light literally every block of the way, and this thing is going off and there's no way to turn it down. I haven't figured it out yet. Anybody with one of these vehicles that knows the steps, please drop it in the comment section before I have to go through the manual. Let me know, because this thing is really freaking annoying. Luckily, we're up in the suburbs right now and there aren't any, so I can't demonstrate to you what it's like or what it sounds like. It's just a real annoyance, okay? It's an obnoxious alert. I use Waze and I use a radar detector, and both of those alert me to the same thing. They're a lot less obnoxious than the vehicle's alert. The good about the vehicle, it has been flawless as far as driving. It's so comfortable. We got the front windows tinted. It was the very first thing we did the first week. We also put the WeatherTech floor mats in. The car is just a very, very awesome car to drive. Really, really comfortable. Those of you that had the Cadillac Escalade, or
1,000 feet, use the left lane to turn left.
If you've had a Suburban or a Tahoe, very similar type of comfort and size. This center console reminds me particularly of
turn left on Wyndham Drive.
The Suburban that I rented the one time when my car was in the shop. This is almost identical in size and the way it's designed. It's just a really comfortable vehicle to drive. I don't have any complaints, even with the annoyances on this thing. It is just a dream so far. Nothing major yet. Like I said, the gas mileage were reported on and the annoying little button issue. But
turn right on Wyndham Drive.
We'll be driving this vehicle in June down to Florida, actually all through the eastern states. We're going to Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, you name it. We're going to be going through all the southern states on the East Coast, and we'll be reporting on that trip whether we run into any issues with this thing. We're taking the family. There's going to be, I believe, we're going 7 or 8 of us driving down. It's just going to be a long 2-week drive, and I'm looking forward to it. Any issues along the way, we'll report on a daily basis for you to let you know what we come across. But for now, the things that I talked about are really the only things that I think that need to be pointed out. If you have any particular questions for me that I may have missed or I haven't spoke about yet, drop me a comment below. Before you go, do me a favor. Click that like button, click that little bell notification down here, click subscribe. Last but not least, you guys and girls all be safe. I'm out.